Hello dear students, how are you all? I hope everything is fine at your end. Today we will start with the third part of social science, that is civics, now known as social and political life. Aren't you excited to learn the new subject? Yes, I know. Today we will learn the first chapter of the subject, that is the Indian Constitution. So let's start the chapter. But first, let us know what is Constitution. A written document in which we find the rules by which a society would function is called Constitution. Constitution tells us what the fundamental nature of the society is. It reflects the ideals that a country upholds. For instance, if constitution of any country says the country will be ruled by the king for his lifetime and the successor will be his heir, that will be followed. This is constitution of that country. Said rules and regulations to be followed by everyone. In constitution of a country is written that every interval of time there will be election in the country. People in the country will decide who will be given chance to administrate the country. Then it will happen according to the constitution written in that country. So basically, constitution is a collection of such rules and laws according to which that society or country will be operated. If in the constitution of a country it is written that the woman will not drive, then the women in that country will not be able to drive. If any woman is found driving, the action will be taken on the woman according to the law. This law was implemented in Dubai. What else does Constitution tell us? Constitution tells us the fundamental nature of the society or the country. How do people in the country think? How do they work? Apart from this, Constitution reflects the ideals of that country upholds. Like earlier, American and other European countries had a culture of slavery. They brought people from Africa and kept them as slaves. It was legally acknowledged to keep the slaves. There were legal markets in which slaves were sold and bought, just like household commodities. You can check the images in the slide for your referral. It was written in their laws. Slowly, there was a civil movement and people realized that everyone should get equal rights. Then it came into the American law. All will be equal, be it white or black. Basically, it reflects the thought or ideas that are carried or upheld by the people of the country. Next topic is why we need a constitution. There are several reasons of why we need constitution. The first reason is the constitution serves as a set of rules and principles that all persons in a country can agree upon as the basis of which the country would be governed and also the ideals that the country should uphold. The next reason is constitution decides nature of the political system, that is who will administer the country. Constitution tells us if the administration will be handed over to a king. Constitution also tells us if the administration will be in the hands of people in the country. Constitution can tell about the things, or constitution can tell any other thing too, like a group of people will administer the country. So constitution will tell how would be the political system of the country. All democratic countries likely to have a constitution. Here a new word is introduced. A word democracy itself says demo, which means public, and another word that is krasi, which means rule. So democracy means a country where there is public rule. Such country where there is democracy is likely to have constitution. But all the countries that have constitution may not be democratic. May in the constitution of the country it is written that there will be rule of king or a group of people. For example, Nepal's earlier constitution stated that the country was ruled by the king and his council of ministers. But due to the people's movement, the constitution was changed and Nepal became a democratic country in 2007. Let us learn about democracy and constitution. Democracy where people will rule. In a democracy, we choose our leaders so that they can rule responsibly on our behalf. However, the leaders might misuse their authority, so the constitution safeguards us against this by giving fundamental rights to the citizen. In a democracy, the majority can continuously enforce decisions that include minorities and go against their interest. The constitution safeguards the minorities per weaker section in inter-community and domination of intra-community domination. For example, from 50 students, 40 students want to play cricket and 10 want to play basketball. Only one game can be played. So as majority of students want to play cricket, so they will play cricket. Obviously, the minority people who wanted to play basketball will not be happy as per their will. This happens where there is democracy, where there is people rule. Minorities cannot participate, and that's natural. It's not that anyone wants to do bad to them. Where there is democracy, few things will not happen as per the will of minorities. What should be done for this? Constitution also safeguards interest of minorities. Inter-community domination means out of those 40 students who are playing cricket, 5 students say let's play basketball, as those 10 students are not being able to play. Intra-community domination means students of the cricket playing group suppressing those 5 students and not allowing the 5 students to help the 10 students. So inter-community means one community to another community, and intra-community means when some community suppresses their own people. The constitution saves us from ourselves. It is possible that the people might too strongly believe that the party politics is so much rubbish that we need a strong dictator, that is king, to set the right. Swept by emotions, we may not realize that this goes against our own interest in the long run. So the constitution does not allow for the easy overthrow provisions that guarantee rights and freedom of the citizen. But with this, we'll go back to 200 years, as it took 200 years to get freedom from dictatorship, kings, and have people rule or democracy. All the struggle to be independent will go in vain, and we will go back in the slave system, in which were in 400 years ago. So constitution saves us from ourselves, that we do not take any such decision sweeping into emotions. Next topic is the Indian Constitution. The long experience of the brutal colonial British rule convinced Indians that free India should be a democracy in which everyone should be treated equally and be allowed to participate in the government. When India was about to get independence, a group of 300 prominent people came prominent people become members of the Constituent Assembly in 1946, and they met periodically for the next 3 years to write Indian Constitution. Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the president of Constitution Assembly, while Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is called the father of Indian Constitution. You can refer the images of 300 Constitution members, and I have given you the image of Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar. This task was very difficult as the country was made of various communities with different languages, religions and cultures. Also at that time, India-Pakistan partition was imminent. Princely states were undecided for their future, and the socio-economic condition of the people were very poor. They gave a visionary document that respects the diversity of people while preserving national unity. It was also concerned for eradicating poverty through socio-economic reforms. Here we come across a new word, imminent, which means a phenomena which will happen in near future, which is sure to happen. Here viceroy means far-sighted, visionary means far-sighted. They gave such a document where they tried to see that if there can be any possibility to go something wrong in the country in future and try to stop the wrong happenings in the future. Next topic is state and government. The state refers to a political institution that represents a sovereign people who occupy a definite territory like the Indian state, the Nepali state, etc. The Indian state has a democratic form of government. Here, sovereign means supreme. Here, people are supreme. The government, on the other hand, is responsible for administrating and enforcing laws. Government means the group of people elected by the people who all administer and enforce laws. The state and the government are two different terms which cannot be used interchangeably. The state means Indian state and government are two different terms cannot be interchanged. That is, where we need to use the term state, we cannot use term government, and where we need to use term government, we cannot use term state. In this topic, let us learn a key feature in the Indian Constitution. What is special in our Constitution? The first special thing is federalism. The Constitution says that the government will operate in federalism. Let's learn about Constitution features, that is federalism. Federalism means government will work on the different level. First level is central level. The collective administration of the whole country is looked after by the central level of government. This is done from Delhi. State level works and administration is done by state governments and at village level. It is Panchayati Raj, which looks after all the work. There were vast number of communities in India, so the central level government was not sufficient to handle so vast communities spread across huge geographic area. Another level of government at state level was needed to administer the region better. State level government enjoys its own autonomy in certain issues. If we leave aside issues of national concerns, all other issues can be resolved by the state government by their own autonomy. The Constitution lists down the issue that each tiers of level of government can make laws on. It also states from where the funds will be provided for such work. So students, we will stop the session here. We'll continue the rest topics in session 2. I would again advise you to read the textbook, the topics that we have covered, underline the hard words, write them in your notebook 5 to 10 times so that you recite them. When you read the textbook, refer the images. When you see the videos, read the slides, look at the images for references for better understanding, listen to the video very carefully, and try to understand the topic more better. So see you in the next session with further topics. Till then, bye, take care, be fit, be healthy.